Today we're taking a second look at Lady MAGA. Lady MAGA is a gay, conservative performer from Utah who decided that the most patriotic thing she could do was put on a blonde wig, bedazzle a MAGA sash, and start preaching white grievance at rallies. Lady MAGA has made a whole career-ish on being the conservative drag queen, but in 2023 she announced that she was done with drag, and now she only performs under the title costume artist. The title of the video is called Awaken White Man.
This is garbage.
Right here. He's calling for a white awakening, which, girl, the only awakening that Lady MAGA needs is to the fact that her contour is asymmetrical and her ideology is expired. In the video we're reacting to, she, he, we, thee, they, them, you get it. The man said white people are 6% of the global population, like he was talking about endangered pandas. Buckle up, because we're about to go line by line through this unseasoned fever dream and figure out how Lady MAGA went from contour to colonizer. Let's get into it. Dismantling hate starts now. I just feel like a dog that needs to run circles around the living room. The outfit is giving unemployed art teacher. Not that that's bad. That's kind of my reality. Here we go.
My fellow white man, you're right.
How dare you? How very dare you say white man? This is also her shtick, is to be putting on lip gloss at the beginning of every video. Where's my goddamn chapstick? Not Lady MAGA making me want to be homophobic. Just kidding.
My fellow white man, your rage is real and it's justified.
Your rage is real and justified. Well, what are we raging about? What are we raging about? Let's find out.
Or daughter could be stabbed in the chest by a black, and the world would reward him. White man, you have been emasculated and silenced because you have allowed
only white men have been emasculated and silenced.
Emotionality of women to dominate our culture and politics.
Oh, many. How do I react to this? Like, really truthfully, how do you react to this? There's so many things to dismantle just in the first frickin' second.
This message is not for white women. Anthony Carmelo is a black tarantula head who stabbed a white boy in the chest, killing him. He's been...
Tarantula head? Is that a common slur? I've never heard of that. There are examples of black people stabbing and killing white people. There are also examples of white people stabbing and killing black people. So what are we actually achieving by flashing up this man's mugshot and explaining this story? I guess it's to activate fear. I'm just sitting here dumbfounded.
Celebrated as a hero. His bail was reduced from $1 million to $250K by a black female judge.
This isn't even going to be a reaction video. This is just going to be a video of me hyperventilating in a corner, listening to Lady MAGA's garbage.
Online fundraising not only got him released, his family bought a new house with the money. A savage black killer has been...
Holy f***. Okay, can we get any of the context as to why? There's not really a way that you can justify taking the life of another person, but maybe we could empathize a little bit with the situation. I don't know this situation. The black background with the black outfit is really interesting. It's giving mime. It's only wishful thinking that Lady MAGA wouldn't talk.
Warded for murdering a white teenager named Austin Metcalf. This was my final straw. I make no apologies for what I'm about to say.
On April 2nd, 2025, Austin Metcalf, a 17-year-old American student at Memorial High School, was fatally stabbed by Carmelo Anthony, also a student of the same age, while attending a school track meet in Frisco, Texas. He died of his injuries at the scene. Anthony surrendered himself to authorities soon after the stabbing and has been charged with first-degree murder. Anthony pled not guilty, alleging self-defense. The trial trial is scheduled for next year. The incident has been the basis for much online attention, misinformation, and fundraising, in part because of the races of the victim and the attacker. The altercation started when the track and field championship was delayed due to thunderstorms. Hunter Metcalf, Austin's twin brother, told Anthony to move out from the memorial team's tent. During the argument that ensued, Anthony allegedly said, "Touch me and see what happens," while reaching his hand into his backpack. Metcalf then pushed Anthony on the bleachers and they were on. In response, he allegedly said, "Punch me and see what happens," to which Metcalf punched him. In response, Anthony pulled out a black knife from the backpack and stabbed Metcalf once in the chest before running away. Another witness in the Frisco police arrest report stated, Austin and Anthony went back and forth, and then Austin stood up and pushed Anthony to get him out of the tent. Austin Metcalf was pronounced dead minutes after arriving in the hospital. Anthony quickly surrendered to the police. According to the responding officer, Anthony first said, "I was protecting myself," and was emotional and crying hysterically after he was arrested. The officer then communicated to others that he had Anthony in custody, to which he responded, "I'm not alleged. I did it." As he was being escorted to the police car, Anthony reportedly said, "He put his hands on me. I told him not to." When he was sitting in the back seat of a police car, he asked if Metcalf is going to be okay and asked the officer if what he did could be considered self-defense. Anthony's family was attacked online after a news report from Daily Mail falsely claimed that he was living in a luxurious $900,000 house due to donations. However, the family had not withdrawn any money from donations. Shortly after Metcalf's death, a Twitter account impersonating the Frisco police chief began spreading misinformation and a fake autopsy report. In April 2025, Judge Angela Tucker lowered Anthony's bond from $1 million to $250,000, citing his clean criminal record and his academic and athletic achievements. The courts approved Anthony moving to an undisclosed location due to safety concerns. This move was precipitated by an alarming increase in death threats, continued harassment, and physical intimidation targeted at him and his family's home. Metcalf's mother and father have both had their homes swatted, and one such incident resulting in a SWAT team showing up to Metcalf's father's home with their weapons drawn. Wait, Austin Metcalf was the young man who lost his life. So why is Metcalf's father's home being swatted? Additionally, both Metcalf and Anthony's fathers have been forced to leave their jobs after facing harassment and doxing. Angela Tucker, the judge who lowered the bond to $250,000, has also been doxed and received multiple threats from unknown people. So I think what we can really take away from this preliminary Wikipedia read is that this was a tragic situation for everybody involved, and a situation that was already traumatic was seemingly made a lot worse by people online, probably based off of a lot of assumptions. Would it be reasonable to assume that the aftermath of this situation would have been wildly different if the two races of these boys were the same? I think this has turned into a situation where it's more of a commentary on race versus a commentary on a murder. Yeah, because at a protest, Metcalf's father told the organizer that he disapproved of his efforts, saying, "You're trying to create more race divide than bridging the gap. I don't condone anything you do." He also requested that his son's school portrait be removed from the group's website. Yeah, imagine being those grieving parents after just losing your son, and right-wing extremists are hijacking your son's murder for use in bigotry. Okay, we have the backstory. We know as much as we can preliminarily know, I guess. Lady Maga is keeping us busy, girl. Okay, this is the last straw. She read the Daily Mail article. She didn't do another Google search or think critically, and then she's here saying awaken white men. And we're angry, and that's okay, because she told us so.
Terrorism must come to an end. to respectable blacks. I'm not talking about you.
Why does it seem weird? It's giving like 1960s racism, you know, the blacks entrance. Would you swim in an integrated pool? Like, that's the vibe that's giving me. Anyway.
Black men are roughly 3% of our population in America, but commit upwards of 50% of murders.
Even if that stat is true. Why? Why? Can we look into it? Can we get a dissertation on why? It's not that black people are more aggressive. It's not a natural temperament issue. It's that these folks are put into situations by systemic inequalities throughout every facet of the human life. If you push people into a corner so much and discriminate against them so much for so long, it doesn't make it okay, but it does make it understandable. And it also makes it fixable as well. Not quickly, but it is doable. But unfortunately, with the way that the United States is going, it's not going to be fixed for a while.
This danger to blacks and whites is young blacks. In 2020, blacks...
God, I hate this man.
George Floyd, a dangerous criminal who held a gun to a pregnant woman's stomach, was celebrated as a hero.
So I did find here that Floyd faced charges for aggravated robbery with a deadly weapon. According to investigators, he entered an apartment by impersonating a water department worker and barged in with 5 other men and held a pistol to a woman's stomach and searched for items to steal. But I guess the point is that just rapid flashing these facts at people who only have an attention span of about 3.4 seconds. We're doing this by design to scare people into looking into this any further. From what I'm reading, he didn't injure these people physically. He definitely terrorized this woman psychologically, no doubt. He was arrested 8 times, and it doesn't look as if any of them were violent crimes, with the exception of threats with a deadly weapon. But then after he was arrested and then served time for 5 years in prison, he became involved with a Christian church, moved to Minnesota with a church work program and drug rehabilitation and job placement services. He continued to battle drug addiction and went through periods of use and sobriety. That doesn't mean that he deserved to die. Police were called by a Cup Foods grocery store employee who suspected that Floyd had used a counterfeit $20 bill. We have enough nuance to hold the complexity between, yes, he shouldn't have threatened a woman with a deadly weapon, and he also shouldn't have lost his life. Those two things can both exist at once. Encapsulating all of these things into one 11-minute video in order to awaken white men is disgusting. And it doesn't serve any purpose other than to terrify people into continuing to be or to be racist. Lady MAGA, you are an embarrassment, not just for queer people, not just for drag artists, not just for white people, just for everyone. Log off, girl. Delete the accounts. It is not it.
Couch was slashed in the neck with a hatchet by Daniel Michael, a ghetto savage. No one is saying...
For the love of God, are we going to be here for an hour as I research and provide context for all of these individual things? Because I could make the same style and kind of video by only presenting situations where white people injured black people. Those examples exist too, and they're equally as bad. I don't understand.
Jacob Couch's name. If the situation were reversed, blacks would be rioting. Linda Stoltzfus, a young Amish girl, was raped and murdered by Justo Smoker, a ghetto savage. You don't know her name, but you should. White lives matter.
Ooh, I want to be so mean right now. But that's not what we're here for. Ghetto savage is a crazy thing to say. Ghetto is a place, mama.
A global war on the European white race. Europe is being decimated and conquered by Islamists and Africans who live for free off of the hard...
Like, he talks like he's the racist Miss Rachel.
...of white Europeans. Cowardly white European leaders celebrate this. In the UK, a white woman was arrested for silently praying outside of an abortion clinic. But Islamists...
Good.
are allowed to blast their prayers on loudspeakers in public.
But really bringing our communities together.
Even in Minnesota, whites have to wake up to the Islamic call to prayer on loudspeakers. Sweden is now the rape capital of Europe because it is no longer a white country.
Why is he saying white like that? And all of these things that he's saying do have a kernel of truth to them, like the immigration patterns of people who practice Islamic faith moving into different countries around Europe. That's happening, but it's not for no reason. There's so much context behind all of these situations that would take days to research and understand. But somebody like Ryan, who has the emotional complexity and maturity of not even a middle schooler, we're talking toddler at this point. No, that's mean. But I don't get a sense of intelligence from this man. And that's not me reading him. I just literally don't. Do you? If you disagree, please tell me. I'm not gagging. I mean, I'm gagging from, like, the smell.
Islamic and African murders and rapes are swept under the rug. They get released from jail as white men are arrested for hate crimes, such as saying, speak English.
But apparently during some conversations between yourself, apparently you have alleged, we weren't here, so I don't know you've said it, but you've alleged to say, speak English.
Whites have been systematic.
Well, yes, if people are speaking a different language and you just go up to them unprompted and yell, speak English at them, like, I don't know if he yelled it, but is that a hate crime? I don't know. Do we have the context? Definitely not. And white people don't get lenient sentences for crimes or completely get away with crimes. That happens too. This video is so stupid.
Villainized for decades. I'm sure you've noticed that books like White Trash by
I kind of want to read it.
Nancy Eisenberg are bestsellers. The white European race is the only race on Earth that's literally being culturally and physically erased.
That's the perfect freeze frame for this man. He is literally stupid. I don't even have anything else of substance to say. I'm just embarrassed, honestly.
Roughly 6% of the global population. We are the only race that's expected to forcibly integrate foreign cultures into our lives. Japan, China, and India have no diversity quotas for white people. The very people that preach white hatred wish to live among us.
For the love of God, did I ever have this temperament or like presentation of speaking in my older videos? If anybody's ever watched those older Dismantling ones, please tell me I didn't look and sound like this, because this is just... It's unbearable.
Every brown third world country is filled with people desperately trying to get to white countries. Any black...
Why? Can we talk about why? If I was a non-white person living in a country where the quality of living was lower, I would want to get out too. And so would he. Ugh.
In America who have money immediately flee their own kind to live among whites. For example...
Is it to... Oh, fuck off with Obama now? You can't tell me that you would do any different. If you had the ability to leave somewhere for a better quality of life, you would do it too. It's natural human nature to want a better life experience for yourself and your family. That has nothing to do with race. I'm sure there would be so much less immigration in the world if everybody had an equal quality of life. But that would be impossible, because then where would the billionaires be? In our stomachs, because we would eat them.
Barack Hussein Obama and Big Mike
Oh my God!
live in the most exclusive gated white area on Earth. Remember the shows
Because he was a president of the United States.
Jeffersons and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air?
Sure.
Where did they live? We have watched black
Because they were movie TV stars. Oh.
hip-hop infect the minds of our white youth. Our beloved European fairy tale characters and historical figures like Anne Boleyn are replaced. Almost every film on Netflix, Hulu, etc., created after 2018 includes interracial couples. This is not about inclusion or representation of reality. It's about erasing and undermining the white European race.
I need a break. Fucking hell. Okay, deep breaths. We're halfway through.
You'll usually see a white girl with a black man. Our Super Bowl halftime shows haven't included a white artist in years.
I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish this, man. Oh, and you know it's bad because I just said man. Bro.
Of all advertising, in spite only being 13% of the population, blacks are represented. If aliens were to watch our modern media, they would assume that whites are a small minority. Whites lose their spots in universities to underqualified ethnic people. Here in Utah, the Utah Jazz basketball team offers scholarships to anyone who's brown, but not white. Too bad, poor white kids with a dream. White-created corporations have been forced to hire unqualified blacks. Liberals cried out that blacks are underrepresented, for example, in the flight attendant industry. But let's break that down. Blacks are roughly 13% of the population. Of that 13%, what percentage is interested in being a flight attendant? Of that percentage, how many are qualified to be a flight attendant? 1% at best? Yet modern...
Who's this diva sitting on the cart like that? Oh, God. Oh, man. Who would you rather spend time with? This diva in the pink fit? Come on, Ascot. She looks great. Or this crusty-looking, gay, conservative Steve Jobs wannabe...
seek to have at least 50% black and minority representation. This observation applies to film, award shows, and entertainment in general. A small representation of blacks in any industry or media would not be racism. It would simply be a realistic representation of our population. Acknowledging that the pool of talent in any sector is predominantly white is forbidden. The world is obsessed with minorities, yet globally, the white European race is one of the smallest minorities. The Associated Press has announced that they will capitalize the word black, but not white.
AP Style will continue to lowercase the term white in racial, ethnic, and cultural senses. This decision follows our move last month to capitalize black in such uses. We consulted with a wide group of people internally and externally around the globe and considered a variety of commentary in making these decisions. Why we will lowercase white. So it goes on to explain. I mean, it might make sense if he's about to talk about why, but he's not going to stop for more than a second to talk about anything.
Our European ancestors
already onto something different.
Civilized the planet. The world owes every high standard of living to the European men who came before us. They
Do we?
should be praised, acknowledged, and thanked for their achievements. Instead, they are ridiculously villainized. They created the countries where everyone wants to live. Nobody wants to move to India or the Congo. And before you cry, "Meh, colonization," just remember that they just discovered a new temple in Guatemala.
Ancient altar found in Guatemala jungle apparently used for sacrifices, especially of children, archaeologists say. Not that I'm about to justify sacrificing children, but in North America, indigenous people, including children, were killed. In fact, there are mass graves for these people and children again, and that wasn't even done with any sort of ceremony like this one allegedly was. It was just done to eradicate them in general because they just didn't want those people to exist anymore. Oh, God.
Was primarily used for child sacrifices. Inner city blacks in America should thank whites for going to work to pay for their food, housing, healthcare, and enabling their slothful lifestyle of loitering and mischief.
Holy fucking shit.
Phrase, "It's okay to be white," has been labeled hate speech by the Anti-Defamation League.
Because who feels that? Who feels that it's not okay to be white? I have never, ever felt like it wasn't okay to be white. I've never been discriminated against because of my skin color. Ever. Not once. In fact, I receive benefits for being white. It takes no work to be white. Oh, God.
Fellow white men. This says
I can't stand the WH sound.
Demographics determine destiny. This is our moment to wake up or face the decimation of our people.
So you want us to be woke?
and our way of life. South Africa and Rhodesia are modern examples of what happens when whites are villainized and essentially stripped of any power. Both countries immediately turned into violent, dangerous holes as soon as the whites were persecuted. Nelson Mandela and his wife were terrorists, by the way.
Huh? I'm done researching this. No, like, you can pick as a video creator, you can pick one thing to talk about and like actually go into it, and you could actually make a point that might actually make sense, but not this.
Being murdered in South Africa right now as blacks in the government literally sing out loud, "Kill the Boer," meaning kill the whites.
We won, and we shall sing this song.
Mark my words, this will be the end result for whites in our countries once we are the minority. Our countries will turn to once we're on the fringes and stripped of our culture and influence.
Because the USA hasn't turned to shit already? Oh my god.
The misery that ensues will be blamed on us. So what is the solution? A race war? Absolutely not. The solution is a strong, bold, and unapologetic public awakening of the white man.
No, the solution to this is a strong and bold challenge of any shitty behavior from anybody. It doesn't matter the color, right? You can hold people accountable. Let's not murder people. Let's not discriminate against people. Let's not do anything to anybody based off of solely their skin color. We can hold ourselves and each other to a high standard of behavior with it having nothing to do with skin color. There are shitty people of every color. What is this? Elementary school? This man.
That we won't take it anymore. We should refuse any...
We're not gonna take it. I can't take this anymore. I just want to crawl in a hole.
integration, hiring, or diversity quotas in our lives. The solution is also for respectable blacks to call out their own aggressively and incessantly.
The way he holds his mouth makes me upset.
Freedom of association must be respected and restored for whites the way it is for blacks. We deserve to have our own private schools, universities, and...
No! He's sick! He wants segregation! Oh my god! Alexa, I need help.
communities. We must no longer flinch when we are called white supremacists, racists, or Nazis. What we are...
You should flinch if somebody calls you a Nazi, okay? Even if it's wrong, you should flinch, because that is a terrible thing to be called.
Race realists and behavioralists. We objectively notice patterns and plan our lives accordingly. What they often call racism is simply being safe. And yes, forbidden biological and scientific studies demonstrate that there are in fact differences in the human race that should be studied. Whites of all backgrounds and political affiliations have thought exactly what I've said in this video so far. The entire real estate...
Yeah, I've thought about these things, and to be honest, I considered them for like a while. I was also 12. By the time that prefrontal cortex finally grew together at age 25, there was not a shred of any of this racist nonsense left in my mind. I do realize, however, that I am not your typical white person, and that I've developed myself into anti-racist and anti-discriminatory behavior in lots of different ways, not just in terms of race. A lot of white folks might feel like this or have thought about these things, but if you think about it for more than 5 seconds as a fully developed human, you can probably get yourself out of it because it's racist. Is that not enough anymore?
in America and Europe is filled with people looking for a safe area or a nice neighborhood. But that is based on one thing: whites. Safe areas or nice...
Is it based on whites or is it based on income? Because there is income inequality based off of somebody's race. So like I said before, addressing a lot of these systemic issues would solve this problem that is a problem in a different way entirely than how this dumbass is describing it.
Neighborhoods are white areas. It's just that liberals,
There's no white areas that are unsafe. I can name several.
the biking community, refuse to acknowledge this publicly. The value of real estate in this country is dependent on one thing: race. It's okay to say that.
I'm so done. I'm not looking into
Please
that.
stop being cowards. Please stop submitting to the bleeding heart emotionality of women. It's in their nature.
How does women connect with this at all? This makes no sense. Well, because, yeah, he talked about women in the beginning, the emotionality of women. So women are the problem too. Black people and women. Only white men. Ooh, I don't want to live in that world, man.
Seek to be compassionate and caring, and God bless them for it. But the liberal white woman is quite literally
Who is that? All zoomed in like
the
that.
most dangerous demographic on planet Earth.
Oh my God. Oh, so white women are more dangerous than black people? That doesn't make sense by his logic. What the hell?
Irrational feelings have no place in race realism.
Can we
and
fucking
the
wrap this
defense
up?
of the Western European values that made America great. And yes,
No, not that. I mean, he is literally Lady MAGA. So.
very clear and specific cultural heritage that's based on European Christian values. We are not,
Yeah.
in fact, a melting pot. Any success anyone sees in this country, whether whites or ethnic
is
folks,
that?
comes from an almost full assimilation into the European legacy culture that created America. To quote Theodore Roosevelt, there is no room in this country for hyphenated Americanism. The one absolutely certain way of bringing this nation to ruin, of preventing all possibility of its continuing to be a nation at all, would be to permit it to become a tangle of squabbling nationalities. Diversity is not a strength.
Yes, it is. If everybody in the world looked, sounded, and acted the same as you, wouldn't that just be incredibly boring? If I had to go out in the morning and I saw myself reflected in everybody that I saw, it would be torturous. Like, I think highly of myself. I think I'm a great person. I'm funny, I'm smart, blah, 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 whatever. If everybody was the same as me, it would be insufferable. I wouldn't go outside. I literally go and experience things in the world for diversity of experience. Within landscapes, within cultures, within humans, within businesses, everything. Diversity is literally the only thing that makes life worth living, okay? Am I wrong? If you disagree with me, you better tell me why right now in the comments, okay? Because I'm crashing out.
Unity is a strength. My fellow white...
You can be united and diverse, idiot.
And you may not have the courage to openly say what I'm saying right now, but eventually
Nobody should.
you will be forced to do so. Hopefully it won't be after Dequarius or Lamondre stab your son or daughter in the heart and get a new house for doing so.
Which is incorrect, as we saw earlier.
I know deep inside, every white man who watches this agrees with me, conservative or not. For those of you who act...
I mean, I guess, as somebody who is biologically male, no, I think that's garbage. I think that's really shallow, unreasoned thought. I'm gonna press play one more time, and we're gonna sail through to the end. This is the last one.
have a spine, speak up. And if you're not ready to do that, share this video. Rise up, white man.
Holy hell. I just want to read to you like the top 10 comments that are
My
on this
fellow
video.
white man.
Shut the fuck up. Harsh, but so very unfortunately true. LMAO at Tarantula Head. As a black man, I totally agree. My boyfriend is white and he is absolutely wonderful. He would never harm me or anyone else. Thank you for speaking out. I can't like this hard enough. Thank you for saying what a lot of people are seeing and feeling feeling almighty loving Father, immaculate religious babble. Your, incorrect use of your, right. I feel sorry for white man. I think that's a brand new sentence. Damn, Ryan, you finally got down with the sickness. I'm not complaining, but I am observing. I not a white man, but I think the same as you. It's okay to be white. Get bent. Not gonna lie, that flight attendant image was a pretty portly gal. I thought they had to be able to walk comfortably down the 14-inch aisle, which could be size US 12 at most. I've noticed for myself, as I've said to my wife, the white man is being eliminated, and Trump, in my opinion, isn't doing about it. It's not just being white, it's on unity. I have noticed that Europe is gone because what's taking place. I have noticed everything, and I do mean everything. And the double spaces in this comment is a good indication that this is a boomer writing it. But I think that was between sentences, not necessarily between all the words. And it's not between all the words. Like, that's a double space, but that's a single. That's a double, but that's a single. So, you know, maybe they're just dumb. Typical MAGA lies and rubbish. Thank you. You ruined your career. Last time I heard, you've been blacklisted from gay establishment. Typical pick-me sycophant. Good word. Nice. That is just about enough. That was way too much. That was brutal. If you made it to the end, thank you so much. I know that took a lot to get to the end. Or hell, maybe you're doing your laundry and barely listening to me. And for that, I do appreciate you. If you're a maggot who found this video and you want to call me a homophobic slur in the comments, go for it, Diva. I hope it makes you feel something. Because at least it means you're feeling something other than racism. It's about time you did that, don't you think? And if you're a normal person who cares about the welfare of everybody in the world and not just those who share your skin color, make sure that you click the like button, because the maggots are probably tanking my channel average as we speak. So you can support me in that way. Go watch my other Lady Maga video. It was many months ago. That's a really good one. It was far more enjoyable than this. It's funny because while I'm recording a video and I'm like hating the experience in the moment, like I'm better now because that garbage is off, but it usually tends to be a good video if I'm feeling very heightened while I'm filming. But I'm just like, I just feel like a dog that needs to run circles around the living room. You know, but it only got 683 views, so that's something. I'm done. I'm so done. I'm gonna go to bed. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye. What did we just watch? We just watched racism. Oh my god. Like, the man doesn't have a job, but how do I get him fired? Good lord. What an embarrassment to everyone. Ugh.